शांति शांति। अंतर मन में ज्योति जगा लो, होगा दूर अंधेरा। शिव का कर लो ध्यान, आ रहा पावन पुण्य सवेरा।
Om Shanti. Today Bap Dada teaches us children to be in that soul conscious stage. Of course, the knowledge is quite easy. The knowledge is about knowing the history and geography, and it's easy to be in your intellect, but it requires a lot of effort to be in that soul conscious stage. And remember the Father, this stage enables you receive all the attainments. So when we become soul conscious and remember Baba, we receive all the qualities and the powers. Maya also runs away only when we become soul conscious. Maya's task is to trouble you till the final moment, but you shouldn't get troubled, because if you get troubled, that will trouble even more. So Baba says, if you are not troubled, then it doesn't matter much. So Baba teaches us what has to be done in order to be in that soul conscious stage. So let's listen to Baba's elevated versions, and today's date is 20th May. Baba doesn't, we of course know about ourselves. So Baba tells, sweet children, ask yourselves, how long do you remember the Father? How long do you have the soul conscious stage? Question. Which direction of the Father do the fortunate children follow? Which direction of the Father do the fortunate children follow? Answer. The Father's direction is, sweet children, may you be soul conscious. All of you souls are males, not females. A whole part is recorded in each of your souls. Now make this effort to practice remaining soul conscious, and this is the highest destination. Of course, Baba tells this is the time to make effort to be soul conscious. How can we remain in that stage while performing actions? This is the highest destination. Becoming soul conscious and remembering the Father, that's the highest destination. The song, I have come, awakened my fortune. Of course, this is the worldly song. There is a lot of meaning in that song. We know Baba has come and awakened our fortune, and that new world is in front of us. Om Shanti. You sweetest spiritual children heard the song. You spiritual children, that is, you embodied souls, say that you are sitting with the spiritual Father, and in order to make your fortune for that new world, that is the fortune of heaven. Baba has awakened our fortune, and we are making that highest fortune. Now you children have to have spiritual consciousness. You have to become soul conscious. This requires the most effort. Baba says becoming soul conscious is the biggest effort. You consider yourselves to be souls, and you souls should also consider yourselves to have taken 84 births. Sometimes you became a barrister, sometimes one thing, sometimes another. Souls are male and are all brothers, not sisters. The soul says, this is my body, and we don't say that. We use the term, that is, the soul says, this is my body. Therefore, in these terms, although the body may be female, the soul is male. Everything has to be understood very clearly, and the Father refines your intellects because He is the wise of the wisest. That's why Baba refines our intellects and makes our intellects very unlimited, because with the intellect gets the power to travel to the land of peace. You souls now know that you have taken 84 births. Good and bad sanskars are in each soul. You receive a body according to those sanskars. Everything depends on the soul. A lot of effort is required for this. Baba says becoming soul conscious, that requires a lot of effort, because you have been remembering your worldly fathers for birth after birth. You now have to remember your father from beyond this world. Baba says we have been remembering our worldly fathers for multiple births, but this is the time to remember the Father who is beyond from this world. Repeatedly consider yourselves to be souls. I, this soul, take this body. The Father is teaching us souls, and this is the spiritual knowledge given by the spiritual Father. The spiritual knowledge can't be given by anyone because everyone is body conscious. So the spiritual Father comes and gives us the spiritual knowledge. The first and the foremost thing is that you children have to remain soul conscious. It is a very high destination to remain soul conscious. This knowledge is not as high. There is no effort in this knowledge. To understand the world cycle is to understand the history and geography. Baba says just understanding the knowledge, it doesn't require any effort, it's very easy. The Father is the highest on high, then there are deities of the subtle region. The history and geography of the world are in this human world. Baba says the cycle just turns in the physical world. Because on the path of devotion, they say that there are various different worlds. You find the one world beneath the earth, one above sky. Such concepts are made. But Baba says the history and geography of the world are in this human world. There is only one world where we the souls come and play our roles. There is no history and geography in the subtle region or in the incorporeal world. And where do we have to go? Just ask them, where do we go now? So this that is the confluence age, is the T-junction. Because on the path of devotion, wherever you find the T-junction, people always worship. Of course, that's the memorial of this time. So Baba says, if we want to go to the incorporeal world, we have to remember Baba. If we want to go to the land of happiness, we have to remember Baba as well as in his inheritance. And if we would wish to go to the land of sorrow, there is nothing required to be done. So the golden age is the land of happiness, whereas the iron age is the land of sorrow. No one can receive peace here in the Ravan's kingdom, because Ravan creates that chaos. You children have now received the knowledge that you are souls and you are the residents of the land of peace. Those organs are for you to act with, whether you perform actions or not. If you don't want to perform actions, you can just be silent. I am a soul and my original religion is peace. So we are karma yogis. We always remember Baba while performing actions. You definitely have to act. There can be no renunciation of karma. They call that they are karma sannyasis. Baba says such things don't exist, because even breathing is considered to be an action. That's why Baba says the highest act would be the act performed in remembrance of Baba, that is when we become karma yogis. So each of those sannyasis plays that part, and they leave their homes and go away. They don't cook food but continue to ask householders for alms. Of course they have to take birth there again. They do have to go to their householders to eat food. They renounced their homes and families. Baba says the sannyasis, even they consume food and they drink water, which is also considered to be an action. So there can't be the renunciation of karma. It is when souls reside in the land of peace, there is the renunciation of karma. There are no physical organs. Therefore, how could a soul act? This is called the field of action. Everyone has to come into this field of action because we sow the seeds by performing actions, and we will definitely have to bear the fruit. Whether it's now or later, but definitely we will receive the return. Sometimes we say, Baba, we perform good actions, but we are receiving the result of the bad actions. So it's highly impossible that when you perform good actions, will never receive the fruit. That's highly impossible. So Baba says, have patience. How could a soul act? That's called the field of action. Everyone has to come on to this field of action. That's the land of peace, the incorporeal world. It isn't that the souls have to merge into the Brahma element. Souls are the residents of the land of peace, and then they come here onto the path of action to play their parts. These are the matters of detail. In a nutshell, Baba tells you, have the faith that you are souls and remember the Father so that your sins are absolved. This is called the ancient yoga of Bharat. The essence of this knowledge is becoming soul conscious and remembering the Father. Else, your sins will be just like that. When I don't become soul conscious, when I become soul conscious, then only the alloy of the soul can be removed. That's called the ancient yoga. In fact, this shouldn't be called yoga, but remembrance. This requires effort. Very few become yogis. Baba says, of course, because we children often raise our concern saying, Baba, we forget often, we become body conscious. Very few become yogis. First, there have to be the teachings of yoga, then this knowledge. First of all, there has to be the remembrance of the Father. The Father says, become soul conscious. This is the spiritual pilgrimage of remembrance. It's not a pilgrimage of knowledge. The soul sits at a place and the soul is on a journey to all the three worlds, that is to the subtle world, incorporeal world and the land of happiness, etc. You have to make a lot of effort for this, and all those of course when we are on a journey we have to make that effort. Although some call themselves BKs, they don't remember the Father. Of course they call themselves as BK, but they don't remember the Father. They give such surnames to them. So do we have such souls here? Such souls never come to the class. Then there is no question of them having their remembrance. The Father comes and makes you children soul conscious through Brahma, and this one was soul conscious and is now making effort to become soul conscious. He was body conscious. Now Brahma Baba was body conscious. He is now making effort to become soul conscious. How much clarity Baba gives us. Brahma Baba was also body conscious. Then Baba enters that chariot. Then Baba teaches him to be in that soul conscious stage. Now Brahma Baba also, that at the time when Murli was spoken, he was also making the effort. And some think that Brahma is also God. That's why Baba tells Brahma is not God. Here all human beings are impure. There isn't a single being who is pure and elevated. It refers to a soul when it is said charitable soul, sinful soul. Human beings say, don't trouble my soul. However, they don't understand who they are. It's asked, O soul of a human being, what business are you doing? He would reply, I, this soul, I am doing such and such business with this body. Of course, in order to carry out the business activities, the soul definitely has to adopt a body. Therefore, first of all, have the faith and remember the Father. No one except the Father can give you the spiritual knowledge. The Father comes and He makes us soul conscious. It isn't that anyone who is clever in this knowledge is very strong in soul consciousness. It's not required. Suppose we are very smart and clever in giving lectures or giving explanations about the knowledge. That doesn't mean that they are very perfect in yoga or in their soul conscious stage. Those who are soul conscious will imbibe this knowledge very well. This is the sign. There are many who understand this knowledge very well, but they forget the remembrance of Shiv Baba. You repeatedly have to consider. This is Baba's complaint, that you children forget Baba. There are many who understand this knowledge very well, but forget the remembrance of the Father. You repeatedly have to consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. There is the story of the jinn, that is, the devil always wants to be occupied in one or another task. So the jinn tells, if you don't assign a task, I will eat you up. So the jinn was given a task, just climb the stairs and get down. That was a complete task. Once the jinn is busy in that, so you should also be like a jinn. There is the story of jinn. The Father gives you this task, remember me or else Maya will eat you. Maya is the jinn. The more you remember the Father, the more your sins will be absolved, the greater pull you will feel. And you will be attracted towards, or you will be pulled towards Baba. Maya turns you upside down and brings, because Maya's business itself is that to snatch away the property of the Father. And Maya brings you many storms. It should remain in the intellects of you souls that you are the children of the Father. You have to just be in that happiness. Whether you remember anything or not, but we are the direct children of God, Baba, the Father. Even if we remember this elevated version, we'll be happy. Maya slaps you when you become body conscious. They also Maya will not slap you, but when you slap, when you become body conscious, Maya will definitely slap you. They also show a play of Hatam Thai. That is a story where it says that just put a bead in your mouth. So when someone puts a bead in his mouth, the problem goes away. It means you should be silent when something goes wrong. This means Maya doesn't trouble you when you stay in the remembrance of the Father, because what's the battle? We sit to remember Baba and the Maya just interrupts there. This is a battle because of this. You make effort to stay in remembrance, but the Maya catches hold of you by nose and doesn't allow you to be in remembrance, because Maya is very clever. It sometimes catches your nose, sometimes your ears, because when it just catches your nose, you can't breathe. So when it catches your ears, Maya, so you will find boring when you listen to Murli. You find Baba is just repeating the same versions. Then you become distressed and go to sleep. There is so much battling with Maya. However, the history and geography of the world is most simple. You are told over and over again that you must always think that your geography of the world is most simple. You are told over and over again that you must always think that your 84 births are now complete and you are going to meet Baba. It's difficult to remember this because it's not difficult to explain to anyone. Don't think that you explain very well. Don't think that you explain very well. No, the first thing is remembrance. What's there in explaining the knowledge? Baba tells it's very easy. The first thing is remembrance. Many people come to the exhibitions, teach them the first lesson of considering themselves to be souls, of remembering the Father so that they become Sato Pradhan from Tamo Pradhan. This is the first lesson that to teach them. No one else can teach the ancient yoga of Bharat. Only when the Father comes, teaches it, can you learn it. First chapter of being soul conscious should be given. So only when the Father comes and teaches can you learn it. It's impossible for human beings to teach human beings Raja Yoga. Because once we learn Raj Yoga, we will have the right to the kingdom. So human beings can't. It's impossible for human beings to teach human beings Raj Yoga. In the golden age, you are pure, you experience the reward there. There is no question of this knowledge or ignorance of it there. It's only on the path of devotion, and people call out for him to remove their sorrow and grant them happiness. There are no gurus or saints in the golden and silver ages. There they have attained salvation. Because we have attained salvation, there is no need of any guru or a saint there. You claim the inheritance of your salvation for 21 births or 21 generations. It is said that Brahma Kumari is one who uplifts 21 generations. It's not that they have untimely death, because the deities will have a longer lifespan. This is only remembered in Bharat. It's only in Bharat that you receive an inheritance for 21 generations. There you belong to the one deity religion. There is no other religion there. There only the deity religion exists. You don't find any other religions there. The Father comes and changes you from humans into deities. How can we return home without becoming pure? Everyone here is impure and vicious. Those who establish a religion also have to sustain the religion when it continues to grow. No one can return home. Not a single actor can return home. The false stories or the assumptions that belief systems people have, that the soul that is it's compared with the light gets merged into that light, and Baba says it will not happen like that. The souls will be just wandering here. So Baba makes it very clear that everyone has to become Sato Pradhan and go through the stages of the Sato, Rajo, Tamo. For Brahma too, it is said the day of Brahma and the night of Brahma. Would there be only Brahma alone in this world? So only the day of Brahma and the day of night of Brahma is applicable, or it is sung. So even whatever it's given for Brahma Baba, that's applicable for students, because we also go with him. You are now becoming part of the Brahman clan. You were in the night and you are going into the day. It's been explained to you for how long you remain worthy of worship and how many births you become worshippers. Until the Father comes, no one can become elevated from being corrupt. Those who are born through vice are called corrupt. That's why it's called hell. If there were sorrow in both hell and heaven, then heaven wouldn't be then called heaven. Until people say that there is sorrow in heaven because you find Kans and Jarasandh in heaven. So Baba tells, when you have that sorrow in both the worlds, then heaven shouldn't be called as heaven. It can be called as a hell. It can be called hell. Until someone understands this accurately, he will continue to ask wrong questions. You have to explain that Bharat was very elevated, just as the praise of God is infinite, so the praise of Bharat is also infinite. What was Bharat? Who made it like that? the Father whose praise you sing. The Father comes and makes you children into the masters of the world. He takes all human beings from degradation into salvation. He takes them to the land of peace for which human beings make effort. That's called complete happiness, complete peace, and complete purity. You find that perfect happiness, peace, purity, because everything there, you find it complete. There you remain in happiness and peace too. All the rest of the souls only remain in peace. You take maximum number of births, because when you are in the land of happiness, you find the rest of the souls in the land of peace. You children take maximum 84 births. The maximum number is 84, and we souls who belong to the original eternal deity religion will take the 84 births. You find also a few souls who take minimum 1 to 2 births. And what does Baba say for such souls? Those who take minimum number of births, they remain in total peace, because there is that complete peace. Souls who come later into the world, they stay in the land of peace. So they just come like mosquitoes and play their parts for one birth or half a birth. What's that worth? So many say that they don't want to come into the cycle of the birth and rebirth. They just wish to be in that land of peace. They just would like to take one birth and go back home. So Baba says, what's the value then? Just during festival, that is Diwali, you find mosquitoes night and they disappear morning. Baba says there is no worth if you take 1 or 2 births. So what's the value of mosquitoes? They take birth at night and die at night. At this time, most people want peace, because the gurus of the world are those who go into silence. You have come here to become the residents of heaven. The residents of heaven wouldn't be called the residents of peace. The residents of peace are those who reside in the incorporeal world. People have learned the word, that is liberation, from their gurus. Women hold a fast in order to go to the land of paradise. When someone dies, people say he has become a resident of heaven. He hasn't really become that, but the people of Bharat believe in heaven. They believe that Bharat was paradise. Shiv Baba comes in Bharat and creates heaven. Therefore, he would definitely create that here. He wouldn't come in heaven to do that. He says, I come at the confluence of hell and heaven. I come the cycle after cycle at the confluence age. They have written that he comes in every age. Baba comes at the confluence age of every cycle, and they have mentioned it as God comes at every age. They have forgotten the word cycle. This place predestined, and the same thing will repeat. You know, because when we forget, only Baba comes. So when we perform unrighteous actions, Baba comes. So you come to know the cycle and the world cycle in last birth. You now know number wise how this establishment takes place. The whole play is based on you people of Bharat. You are now studying Raj Yoga with the Father. You claim the kingdom by having remembrance of the Father. There are pictures. Who made all of these pictures? Just look at the power of yoga. Baba says, you are now studying Raj Yoga with the Father. You claim the kingdom by having remembrance of the Father. There are pictures. Who made all of these pictures? This one doesn't have any gurus. Even if he didn't have a guru, the guru wouldn't just have one disciple. He would have had many disciples. No one but the Father can know this knowledge. Many people ask, if your Dada has had these pictures made, it's not taught by human beings, but of course God comes and teaches us. No one but the Father can know this knowledge. Many people ask if your Dada had made these pictures, because they just look at Brahma Baba, that is Brahma Baba. The Father granted visions with the divine insight. He also granted visions of paradise. Baba had granted visions through the trance messengers, and at that moment the pictures of the world cycle and the human world tree were made. He also granted visions of paradise. Some of you had visions of how a school runs or functions there and what language will be used. When you children were in the furnace, Baba used to entertain you, because there was upheaval outside, that is outside the Om Mandali, and how could Baba then leave the children? So Baba used to entertain them by granting many visions. So in Karachi you lived alone. It was as though it was your kingdom then, because people were scared and they were dying. So you children were just separate. There was that time they used to get out, then they used to be there for a particular time, and then they used to go back. Others aren't able to understand this. You used to believe that was the court of Khuda, that is God. Baba has explained that you are the nuns who belong to none but one, because during that time also people had that concern, and they used to always feel that was the court of God. You would be aware, because at that time many people came to bid farewell to Baba. They used to tell Baba, you people don't go anywhere, because you are the children of God, because when you stay here there will be peace. So how can you establish so Baba used to think, because if I don't go, how can I establish that original eternal deity religion? So Baba explained, you are nuns who belong to none but one. You mustn't remember anyone but the one Father. Nuns only belong to Christ, but no one, only Him. This you must try and not. We must remember the Father only, not anyone else. You know that you received the inheritance from Shiv Baba alone, and Shiv Baba is just a point. He would also have to explain through someone, and Prajapita Brahma would surely exist here. Of course, Baba wants the organs to explain to, because many people come. Why have you made this one sit here? Because so whom should be made to sit there? Baba says, if anyone is made to sit here apart from Brahma Baba also, you would ask the same question. So Baba tells, Baba comes and enters this one's impure body at the end of the last of many births. That's what Baba says. He enters his impure body. Acha. To you, sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, father, and Bap Dada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children, and we spiritual children also offer love, remembrance, and say good morning, namaste to the mother, father, and Bap Dada. The essence for Dharana, if you can't remember the entire Murli, it's better to remember at least 2 points. So the first one, imbibe this knowledge very well. Baba says very well. You have to imbibe the knowledge and become soul conscious. This requires effort. This is the highest destination. Make yourself the soul sato pradhan by making this effort. The knowledge will not make you sato pradhan. When you have the perfect knowledge, you will be able to remember Baba, and then you receive power to become sato pradhan. Second, become a jinn and stay on the remembrance of pilgrimage of remembrance. You shouldn't be tired. The jinn will not be tired of climbing the steps and getting down. So Baba tells, whenever you don't have anything to do in the physical world, you must go either to the subtle region or to the incorporeal world. So no matter how many obstacles Maya brings, just put a bead in your mouth. Let Maya create so many obstacles, but we must put a bead of remembering the Father in our mouth. We mustn't say anything. Don't be distressed by Maya, because the more we get, if we get upset, they will upset us more. So stay in the remembrance of the One and ward off the storms. Because if we are in remembrance of the Father, that will move away the storms. And blessing, may you become an embodiment of success by making the spiritual endeavor your foundation while using the facilities. May you will receive all the facilities only when your spiritual endeavor is there. Baba says there is no question. The Baba will not forbid us using the facilities, but we mustn't be dependent on them. When you see an attractive scene of the old world, or when you see anything and use the facilities of temporary happiness, you become influenced by those facilities. Spiritual endeavor based on the support of those facilities is like a building built with a foundation of sand. Therefore, don't let your imperishable spiritual endeavor be based on any perishable facilities, because the spiritual endeavor is imperishable. The facilities they are just meant, they are namesake, whereas your spiritual endeavor is the basis of the construction. Therefore, give the importance to your spiritual endeavor. That will enable you to achieve success. The more we are in that, we pay attention on becoming a tapasvi, then obviously we get everything. But if we are if we are running behind the facilities without paying attention to the spiritual endeavor, I don't think then you will be able to get. Slogan: if there is even a trace of weakness, that will create its progeny and influence you. We mustn't allow even a trace of weakness to remain, because that will create the progeny. Today's Avyakt signal: constantly experience an unshakable, immovable and constant stage. Remain aware of the method that you have been showing of keeping your intellect focused on one thing. Don't allow it to fluctuate. Don't let your intellect get fluctuate, just it should focus on one thing. Become detached from bodies and the physical world. Experience the corporeal and the incorporeal stage in a second with the viman of your mind and intellect. That is, with the flight of your mind and intellect. Don't allow your intellects to fluctuate, otherwise a lot of time is then wasted in battling. So become detached from these bodies and the physical world and experience the corporeal and the incorporeal stage in a second with the viman of your mind and intellect. Don't allow your intellects to fluctuate, because the number of times the intellect gets fluctuated, your energy and time will be wasted in that. Just as tapasvi always sits on a special seat, in the same way, just remain seated on your seat of that constant stage. Our seat is that constant stage, only then you will receive the future throne. But if I am not stable on that constant stage, then I will not be able to receive that future throne. If we get up from our seat and go and wander here and there, then what do we receive? Nothing. Today's point, that is for the silence. The same elevated version is being repeated, because The children at the beginning of the establishment of the sacrificial fire had very minimum basic facilities, but they were in the furnace of that unlimited disinterest. But the tapasya they did for those 14 years had the atmosphere of the unlimited disinterest. So Baba has of course given so many facilities now, because we didn't have the facilities at the beginning, but they had the spiritual endeavor. Whereas now Baba has given so many, there is no shortage, or you don't lack anything actually. While having these facilities, let there be that unlimited disinterest. Because the souls of the world can't be peaceful or happy without you. Without you creating that atmosphere of unlimited disinterest. That is the attitude of unlimited disinterest. If you have the attitude of unlimited disinterest, then the souls of the world will also receive the vibrations of peace and happiness. Because when we have that attitude of unlimited disinterest, we will not pay attention to all the trivial matters. We will be peaceful and we will be in that super sensuous joy stage. So in order to liberate the souls of the world from sorrow and peacelessness, we must have an attitude of unlimited disinterest. We may use everything, but don't get influenced or dependent on them. So the entire Murli is about the spiritual endeavor. About the tapasya, of course, it requires the effort, but the fruit that is received is just, it's magnificent. Om Shanti. The evening meditation from 6 to 8 p.m. is at Dadi's meeting hall. Today, 190th diabetes camp is being organized at Manmohini 1. All the Samarpit brothers and sisters, all other brothers and sisters are also invited. The Yog Bhatti, which is going to be held in Manmohini, and all those brothers and sisters who have come for that Bhatti, the inauguration will take place at Global Auditorium at 5 p.m. At 4, you are requested to come to the Global Auditorium at 4 p.m. where you will be given the tilak of that awareness. A Vivo mobile was lost at Tapasya Dham. Whoever has got it, you can just deposit it at the Lost and Found department. A mother has lost her mobile. If anyone has found, you too can deposit that at Lost and Found department. There is announcement from water department. The water is coming from Sanjeevani Park, and as you are all aware that we are going through that sensitive time where there is a crisis of the fuel, and don't use your water for washing vehicles. You can use the minimum water. The Ravi brother's brother, he's 60 years, and he's in the Gyan for 22 years. He has left his mortal coil, I think last night at 11 p.m. He's from Maharashtra. Let's send good wishes to that soul on his onward journey. The funeral will take place this evening in their place. Om Shanti. Let's listen to the teachings of respected Dadi Prakashmani ji. The stage of being an instrument keeps us naturally and completely safe from Maya. Just as Baba says, when you become egoless, then by being an instrument, you will see it practically and experience the natural and egoless stage. The word nimit, the spirit of being a nimit, and very meaning of nimit itself is the victory over the ego, that is egolessness. When that letter gets finished, only Baba remains. Om Shanti.